Hey guys, my name is Mightman. Welcome to another video. Now, today is going to be a Let's Discuss video. Now, with the release of the new kind of stuff that's came out, I thought, how about we actually do give some sort of an actual opinion kind of thing. So, we'll start off with kind of the thing that was kind of shadow dropped in that sense, which is the clan machines that sat in for clans specifically. Now, for me, to be completely brazen and honest about it, this feels like a complete gimmick of a release. It doesn't have much to really go for it. But again, it could be helpful for some lower tier clans looking to kind of get a bit of an edge in some capacity. Um, it's one of those ones where I feel as if with the lack of kind of communication regarding it, it just becomes a bit more of a like, where is this came from? Why is this came about? And what is the true purpose behind it? Like, I know from a background perspective that it could have a bunch more other stuff come into play. For example, it could have. I'll just leave it as is. It could bring in something very unique in the sense of, I don't know, like limited edition machines that clans can buy. Just kind of odd stuff like that. But I don't know how it's going to be overall. But again, this is something we will need to figure out when it comes to that point. I just feel as if right now there's not enough information for us to base it on, but there will be plenty of kind of time to kind of speculate what it's going to be like overall. But I'd be somewhat concerned with how the lack of communication regarding it is at this stage, because it just seems a bit too convenient that it just releases before Unity 5 when obviously they're meant to be focusing on other stuff that basically is Unity 5 and getting that out before they release new shit. But yeah, so the kind of gimmick of it is it can be a bit fun for some, but with the requirements of it, you're best really making like 16 different kind of craftsman accounts, shove them in there and go from there. But on the other hand, we have the other releases of the U Implant as well as the Dual Broncos. To be completely honest about one thing as well, the implant itself, the U implant, that's kind of a shit name, and I feel as if they're going to make an implant like that, have it horse themed, just name it a fucking horseshoe implant. Like, it's a silly thing, and obviously it does represent good luck and all that with the horseshoes and such, and the stats on it are pretty goddamn good. What I'll do is I'll actually open up the inventory here and I will show off here. So I got here, so the horseshoe implants, I'm going to call it horseshoe, that's the actual better name of it. The U implant, so 25% chance to find rare items, 7% more loot spots, 7% search speed, and 7% find chance. Now this is, from its release, it has been kind of altered in terms of wording, but fundamentally this implant is actually solid. A lot of people will be thinking, well, leave it for now, a cheaper version will be coming out at some point in the future, and I'm thinking to myself, well, no, for what it's worth right now, this is actually really good value for implant. And if you've watched my other Let's Discuss videos, you know like my takes aren't obviously particularly the best, but they're my takes and people do appreciate them to some extent. This implant, not only does it act as if it's a mini Slayer implant, but it has probably the best kind of boost on this, which is a find chance. And the reason why this is the best one is particularly for looting. So every loot spot you have a chance to roll nothing on there. This mitigates that chance to a small portion, and having it mimicked obviously brings it up a bit more. And the only class within the game that can actually do this is the criminal class. It has like a base 10%. Then obviously with the looter charity mastery, you get an extra 5% on top. So this kind of makes it one of the best kind of implants for what it is. It is a looter implant in general, and the fact obviously you get 25% chance to find rare items, that's basically saying every spot you have a additional 25% chance to loot something good, which fundamentally is kind of good, really good if you're a looter. Like this is obviously based around being a looter, and I do find this to be one of the best implants to grab. Still trying to figure out how to work it into my obviously implants setup. It's going to be a bit more difficult, but it's really good for what it is. And obviously people will not be happy. In fact, like I haven't been happy with a few implants being released, and people don't like my takes on what I've had said. But I do find for the new implant, well, lucky shoe, horseshoe, let's call that horseshoe implant's actually just a fundamental better name for the kind of event theme. It's a lot better than most, and it will help out to some degree for those more established than new players. I wouldn't say this is a kit implant every new player should actually go grab, because it's not the best for it. But yeah, the next thing I want to move on to is the Dual Broncos. Now, with these, my review, obviously saying obviously for about a 6.5, in a sense, purely because how they are. It is unique, it is good for around the bunker, and if you've got the implants like myself, they can be good pretty much anywhere you use them. But unfortunately, unlike the Cryostorm, so if I just, it kind of lacks in the damage department. Don't get me wrong, the knockback on these are something to behold, but you don't need knockback if you don't kill them. If you kill them, if that makes sense. So that's kind of a difference between the Cryostorm and the Dual Broncos as well for me. But the Broncos more serve the bunker than it does really anywhere. The lack of explosion is actually fairly good, especially for a shotgun, since shotguns needed some love for quite a while. Same for SMGs, so we got Stitcher was the perfect one for it, and so is this for the shotgun. But one thing I will point out, and I'm not particularly happy about, is the fact that they released the Dual Broncos as well as the Cryostorm one after another. That is actually poor business decisions, in honesty. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because with how... Well, it shows something up here as well, hold on. With how this game is operated, you shouldn't be putting stuff like that within the market space for people to use. Yes, merchants will be pissed off with that. Completely understand that, because it did destroy the kind of economy for the Cryostorm. But from my perspective, I don't really care about that. I do like Cryostorm for what it is, but it makes it so... Not really getting much good stuff here to show us off, am I? It makes it kind of feel cheap in a sense, and it's just showing that there is a bit of a difference between what developers dealing with what. Because I know for a fact, obviously, if this wouldn't have been Clayton, this would have been Adam Paul making up the stuff in the background whilst working on DF2. I don't believe that this was the best idea. I don't think it was the correct idea, but in the end, this is what was decided to happen. And to make something like this kind of feel cheap in the end for most players, it just kind of screams that a bigger kind of discussion needs to be had in that sense. Because if this continues, God forbid if we get another shotgun in what, April for our Easter event, then that's just going to be completely baffling. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to get U5 by that point, but it's just we need to kind of hold that kind of opinion, that don't release stuff like this twice in a row, because it is moronic, it's stupid. We want something different each time. We don't want an LE to be one thing after another. I mean, I'm still waiting 2 years later for a armor or a LE to be like a cosmetic as well, because it's been a while since we've had anything actually decent. But yeah, I know this is a bit of a weird let's discuss kind of thing, but fundamentally, like, the stuff we've been given is actually pretty decent. Like, obviously, we have had some interesting stuff with this event. The Dual Broncos, like I said, worked for what they are. It is good for the mastery. If you've got the build, it is good. The U-implant, or the horseshoe implant as I'm going to be calling it, is really good for looters, and it's really good for clan participation as well, because you build up those points a lot more often. the hold on, the clan machines, complete gimmick for what it is. I probably wouldn't say it will be a long-term thing, but it opens up some opportunity to be something interesting, something with early machines that might do like rental copies of weapons or something like that, or cheap imitations or something along those lines, just for a gimmick of it. The other thing we did get released is the horsehead mask, which is cool. Not my cup of tea, but the Lunar version, which is the fire mask, basically is quite cool. And I actually want to update my character as well to potentially use it, but it's trying to find how to use it, if that makes sense, to go with it, because I've had this Christmas cloak for many years. But yeah, what do you guys think of this update? What do you think of the early, the implant, the new mechanics, even the cosmetics? Give me your opinion. I'm just interested to see what you guys think. I would say this is probably one of the better things we've actually gotten in terms of an event, but for a Lunar event, I wouldn't expect much more than maybe a few boss reskins, obviously in the early, just a few gimmicky stuff anyway. I mean, we've got the red envelopes back, which isn't actually particularly bad either. I'm guessing we have sticky toffee puddings as well somewhere. But yeah, that's my take on this. What do you guys think? I am going to let you guys go, and it's been a pleasure as always to have this kind of discussion. But yeah, just before I go, bear in mind I do have a Discord server. I know I would say I wouldn't be doing this PSA, but I feel as if we need to start discussing that now. Well, we need to upload another video at some point in the future discussing next steps for this channel as well, because we need to do some sort of follow-up every month, I think, just to kind of touch base. But yeah, so look out for them. Check the description for my Discord, because I will start posting stuff on there again very soon. But yeah guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, great time. I shall see you guys later, and goodbye. Just before I end this video, just before I forget, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a giveaway for 3 people. So I will give away 600 credits in total. So let's say if we get 175, but let's say if we get 200 subscribers on this channel before the end of the event, I will give away 600 credits in total, 200 per person, so you can all get, the 3 people can get gold membership. And yeah, let's aim for that, because the event ends on March 2nd, so as soon as we hit that 200, I'll happily give it away.